Hello and welcome to my presentation of attachment informed coaching, a targeted intervention for exercise retention. My name is Andrea Bowden. My business is Next Level Fitness Training. I am an ACE certified personal trainer and ACE certified health coach. There is no better professional than the health coach or personal trainer to overturn the mental health outlook of the world. Exercise affects every nuance of the human condition. There is no part of the human body or human psyche that exercise does not affect. Inactivity, inactivity is one of the world's most pressing health issues, and yet a significant portion of the population does not get enough. Many people begin an exercise program with one of the nearly 400,000 personal trainer positions nationwide and quit within a few months. Why? I believe attachment theory could contribute to the answer. The closer we get to understanding the type of behaviors within the coach to client or personal trainer to client relationship and the exercise environments that bring about changes in attachment perceptions, the better we will be at developing targeted interventions for improving exercise retention. The health professional in an exercise setting could make an enormous contribution to individuals' mental health and quality of life with attachment informed coaching. This is why I propose a targeted exercise intervention using attachment informed coaching. So attachment informed coaching and between group design to inform exercise retention environments. The research question then is, if and to what degree is there a statistically significant difference in the means of retention rate between the attachment informed coached participants and the non-attachment informed coach participants over the course of 12 months? The null hypothesis: there is not a statistically significant difference between the mean retention rate of the attachment informed coach participants and the control, which is those participants with no attachment informed coaching. The alternate hypothesis then is there is a statistically significant difference between the mean retention rate of the participants who receive attachment informed coaching and the mean retention rate of participants who do not receive attachment informed coaching. There is much research on attachment theory that we can use to inform this particular research project. Let me talk a little bit about attachment theory. Attachment theory is widely considered among behavior scientists to be one of the most influential theories in human behavior. The central idea of attachment theory is that people tend to form attachment to particular others. As infants, the attachment figure is the primary caregiver, usually the mother. However, attachment figures are present throughout a person's entire life. Attachment theory says humans are born with a psychobiological need or an innate need to seek support from significant others in times of stress in order to reduce that anxiety and obtain protection. Attachment figures provide a safe haven that is a protection and provision. That is protection and provision. And they provide a secure base support. That is, they provide an environment for autonomous exploration. These caregivers or attachment figures then are providers of attachment security. When a caregiver does not respond consistently or appropriately in times of stress, a person does not experience felt security. And so the person resorts to alternate ways of security seeking behavior. The attachment orientations a person develops are insecure, anxious, insecure, avoidant, and of course, secure. Internal working models then are developed according to felt behavior of significant others toward the individual. Let me get a little bit more into the attachment orientations. When people develop an internal working model of anxious attachment insecurity, it is because their infant experiences were shaped by unreliable caregiving, resulting in a negative self-perception and preoccupation with affirmation from others. As an adult, this person will worry others will not be available in times of need, and so will tend to anxiously seek others' love and care. An avoidant attached orientation is shaped by feelings of being neglected by the primary caregiver in times of need, resulting in negative perception of others and a desire to gain independence from others. This person actively tries to seek behavioral and emotional distance from others and avoids asking for help. Securely attached people receive support from their caregiver in times of stress. As a result, they have greater optimism and a positive view of self and others. Securely attached people are emotionally stable and feel confident they will receive help when needed. And very importantly for this particular research study, securely attached people make better health choices. They experience greater levels of well-being and lower levels of distress. Hazen and Shaver developed the original self-directed survey in 1987 to measure insecure attachment. And since then, there have been several others. Recent research shows depending on the attachment figure, attachment style can fluctuate. A responsive attachment figure can change a person to be a more secure individual. Security enhancing interactions with attachment figures who are reliable and responsive can allow an insecure people to feel loved, appreciated, and cared for, which gradually builds an environment where they feel like they are secure. Research has been done in management, education, health, medicine, and counseling, where leaders in these environments served as attachment figures. I want to draw attention to that because it's pertinent to this research. More importantly, in these environments that I mentioned above, responsive and reliable attachment figures were able to shift an insecurely attached individual along the spectrum to be more securely oriented. Expanding this research then to health professionals' role, such as a health coach or a personal trainer, is not a big stretch because a health professional has been acknowledged as, or is acknowledged as, a manager, an educator, a healthcare resource, a coach, and even a counselor. Exercise affects every nuance of the human condition, including heart health, bone health, muscle health, cell health, blood health, adrenal health, skin health, organ health, mental health, cognitive health, and everything in between. However, less than 20% of the population engages in regular physical activity. Mental health is one of the most pressing world issues. Due to the government and media response to COVID-19, mental health care is and will continue to be a significant healthcare crisis now and in the future. In 2010, the global cost for mental illness was estimated to be $2.5 trillion. We can only imagine what it is now and what it will be in the future. Drug and alcohol use have gone up, overdose and attempted suicide and suicide have exponentially increased since 2020. Mental illness is related to several physical illnesses, including diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and increased mortality. As psychologists are looking for creative ways to flatten the curve of this growing mental illness crisis, exercise professionals are among those being called to help. Yay. The health professional's leadership role in exercise retention is imperative. There are several recent studies that I am going to share with you right now that show the kind of impact a leader can have on her or his clients. So, for example, one study found a stronger intention to continue to participate in group exercise was felt by participants when the instructor used principles from self-determination theory. That self-determination theory is very important in this research because we are going to apply it here as well. So when the instructors use self-determination theory in their communication style, again, it affected their intention to continue to exercise. Another study found coaching style, so now we're talking about between coach and athlete on a team, affects athlete satisfaction with both the relationship between the coach and the athlete and between the athlete and the sport. Another research showed authentic leadership. So now we're looking at like a professional corporate kind of environment within a leader-follower relationship boosts feelings of security. And the consequences of that boosted feeling of security increases followers' feelings of well-being. Another study found the perceived interacting style in a group exercise setting between the exerciser and the instructor affected feelings of autonomy and competence. Now, again, we're talking about self-determination theory, which affected the exerciser's self-determined regulation to exercise. Really important, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about retention. Self-determined intention to exercise is retention. Another study found identity leadership, so a specific kind of leadership displayed by group exercise instructors, resulted in better class attendance and greater effort within the class. This is really important because this shows that the instructor has a role in the exerciser's retention and the results. Another study found changes in attachment predicted feelings of well-being. So this was one that was specifically with attachment theory and self-determination theory. There are a number of those actually studies where those two together are studied together for various reasons. They also found in the same study that attachment and psychological need satisfaction, so the basic psychological needs, autonomy, competence, and relatedness, were intrinsically linked. Meaning, if the relationship between the athlete and the coach is developed in such a way that there is a change in the athlete's attachment orientation, it is likely the athlete will perceive her or his basic psychological needs are being met. The health professional's impetus to take responsibility for the epidemic of inactivity is necessary if we want to change the world for mental health. The exerciser's job is more than teaching exercise, way more than teaching exercise. The exercise leader's job, the exercise leader is an attachment figure because of the role as a stronger and wiser person within the context of the relationship. In all of these examples above, so what I was getting at with all of these research examples above shows that the leader has the power and ability to change habits, feelings, and perception of well-being with the client, depending on the relationship, the coaching, or the communication style. With this study, what we will do is develop an attachment-informed curriculum for health professionals. We'll have two groups, so it'll be a between group study. One group will have attachment-informed coaching. One group will have coaching just the same way as always. Both coaches will be mentored. One coach will be mentored using attachment theory informed coaching. One coach will be mentored just using whatever would be normal in any other world type of mentorship coaching. The coaches recruited will have at least 5 years of experience as a personal trainer. They'll be the same gender, and they will be ACE certified professionals. One of them, again, they'll receive attachment informed coaching, and then we'll have a control without it. They'll be mentored with attachment informed coaching and then research, and then we'll use for the control, it would be research other than attachment theory. The instruments will measure all of the clients. So the professionals will have clients they'll be working with. Those clients will take the experience in close relationships scale questionnaire. And that is the Hazen and Shaver one I mentioned earlier, physical activity and participation questionnaire at 3, 6, 9, and 12 months, even for people who leave the program, because we're thinking possibly people will have self-determined intention to continue exercising before the 12 months is up. So let's just see, let's just see that. So we would like to test that as well. The curriculum will be adapted from current research on attachment theory, and we will also consult other evidence-based therapies currently being employed in psychotherapy. Now, obviously, we're not psychotherapists, but we can certainly glean some information for communication style within a psychotherapy environment using these particular methods. For example, the other thing that's very key, because we're talking about self-determination theory, depends on what they're talking about is self-determined motivation to do something is what self-determination theory is about. So we'll consult research in self-determination theory as well. And as empirical studies on attachment theory and exercise retention are published, the attachment informed coaches will discuss these and integrate the models within their own client base. Current empirical studies on exercise methods, health coaching, and personal training will be shared with instructors in the control. So things that don't have to do with attachment theory. Hypothetical data findings. Well, both coaches are going to be mentored. So there's a possibility that both coaches will experience higher retention rates than, let's say, the year before. But I predict the attachment informed coach participants will have higher retention rates than the non-attachment informed coach participants. So this will be a one-tailed t-test. Future research, very excited about future research. Right now, currently, I'm also developing a curriculum for people who are working with exercise or working with people in recovery programs. And there are a lot of studies on using exercise to help people maintain sobriety. So let's add this element of attachment informed coaching training to these coaches so that they are using attachment informed coaching with these clients who are trying to maintain sobriety in an exercise program. So this is somewhere that I think is very exciting. I think we could really make an impact in people maintaining sobriety or in recovery in an exercise program using attachment informed coaching. The other, not the least of which future research would be amazing, is does attachment orientation change for participants during that 3, 6, 9, 12-month mark? So it has been shown that leadership style can change people's attachment orientation, but what about in an exercise setting? Can that happen? What about the effective response to exercise? Do the clients who have attachment informed coaching have a better response to exercise? Are they reaching their goals more quickly? What about also attachment informed coaching for people with obesity who have depression? Well, actually, people with obesity typically have depression, and people who are depressed overeat. So there is a reciprocal relationship with those. Would attachment informed coaching affect people's depression and anxiety level? And help them there. So these are just some areas. There are lots of other areas that would be really exciting for future research for attachment informed coaching. Health coaches and personal trainers are in the best position to impact the world for better physical and, of course, better mental health. By the nature of their job, they are perceived as influencers, leaders, coaches, in other words, attachment figures. As attachment figures, they hold a tremendous responsibility to help clients make better, healthy choices so they experience greater levels of well-being and lower levels of distress, not just while they're being coached, but for the rest of their life, not for 3 months, but forever. Attachment informed coaching could be the answer. The closer we get to understanding the type of behaviors within the coach or personal trainer to client relationship and the exercise environments that can bring about changes in attachment perceptions, the better we will be at developing targeted interventions for improving exercise retention. The personal trainer and health coach's job is not to teach exercise as much as it is to help people be more self-determined to maintain healthy behaviors. How can we do that? I believe attachment theory informed coaching is the answer. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. My references are here, 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 and here. I'm Andrea Bowden, and I'm an ACE certified personal trainer, ACE certified health coach. Thank you so much for joining me.